Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're getting into the life of Suge Knight,
Right.
specifically using the book The Life and Times of Suge Knight, a cautionary tale.
Yeah, that one.
Our mission, really, is to understand what shaped him, from Compton to, well, the top of the music world with Death Row Records.
And then the fall. It's quite a journey.
Exactly. And the factors behind that dramatic fall.
It's definitely a complex story. Gives you a lot of insight into, I guess, the forces behind ambition and maybe its costs.
Absolutely. I mean, Suge Knight, he's still this huge figure, right? So crucial for 90s hip hop. Like Dre, Snoop, Tupac.
Absolutely central.
And in this book, it promises like unprecedented access, meticulous research. So let's unpack it, starting with his early life.
Makes sense. The book really frames Compton as the crucible.
Yeah.
It paints this picture of Compton, late 70s, 80s, a place really undergoing some massive changes.
Yeah.
On one hand, a vibrant hub for African American music, culture, really rich heritage there.
But on the other,
But also facing serious urban decay, economic hardship. It wasn't easy. What stood out to you about that contrast?
it's just so stark, isn't it? This incredible creative energy butting right up against, the real pressures of poverty, rising crime.
Yeah,
And the book mentions the crack cocaine scene starting up then, too.
right. Tough environment.
It really makes you wonder how seeing both those extremes day in and day out kind of shaped his view of the world.
That's a key point the book seems to make. And within all that, his family was apparently quite important.
It's his parents, yeah, Marion Sr. and Maxine.
Right. A
Yeah.
truck driver. And she's described as strong, determined. They apparently push resilience, hard work,
Yeah.
education too for Suge. He was the youngest of three.
hmm
How do you see that sort of foundation playing against the Compton reality he was living?
Well, it creates this interesting tension, doesn't it? You've got these core values being instilled at home, but then there are these powerful lessons from the street itself: toughness, understanding power dynamics.
Real world lessons.
Yeah. The book suggests Compton taught him survival, sure, but also how influence really works, on the ground level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
His understanding of power wasn't just theoretical, he saw it. Both the
Had
appeal
the danger.
and the dangers, definitely. And then there was sports. Right. That was a big outlet.
Football, yeah. He was good. Got that scholarship to UNLV.
So that provided a structured channel for that competitive spirit, learning strategy, teamwork,
Yeah.
maybe in a different way than on the street. How do you think those athletic skills translated later?
Well, you can kind of see how that drive, that competitiveness, maybe understanding team plays,
Here,
how that could map onto business.
even if the rules were very, very different.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So when football didn't quite pan out as a long term career, he shifts, right, into
Mhm.
the entertainment world, bodyguarding.
And his size helped there, I imagine. Big guy, but agile.
Definitely imposing. 6'2", over 250 pounds, the book says.
That transition seems pretty critical. Working for Bobby Brown, for instance.
Right, that connection.
That must have given him a really close look at the whole music industry machine, the fame, the money side, how things actually worked behind the scenes.
What specific insights do you think he picked up there?
Well, it probably demystified it a lot. Seeing the power structures, who had the leverage.
Maybe where the opportunities were.
Exactly. And that bodyguard work, it wasn't just about protection, it was networking. He met influential people.
Laid the groundwork.
Totally. So you piece it together: Compton's environment, the family influence, sports lessons, that early dip into the music business. It all sort of fed into his ambition and how he approached things later.
Yeah, it wasn't like he just appeared out of nowhere. It was this buildup of experiences, observations, shaping his next moves.
So, thinking about those early years, it kind of leads to a bigger question, doesn't it?
Mhm.
We're often fascinated by these figures, people who hit incredible highs, but also have these major controversies or falls.
Yeah.
Is there maybe more value for us in looking at the cautionary tale part rather than just, celebrating the success or condemning the failure? And with Suge Knight starting where he did, what does his story ultimately tell you or make you think about regarding the price of ambition, that raw ambition, and just how complex influence is, not just in music, but anywhere power is involved? Something to think about. Thanks for exploring this deep dive with us.